In a world where many people move to the beat of others, Sigma men set their own rhythm. They are often misunderstood, misjudged, or even written off simply because they follow a path that defies usual expectations. But there's power in being different, and Sigma men know this well. They operate on their own terms, moving through life with a sense of purpose and quiet strength that doesn't need applause or validation from others. Intensely private, grounded, and self-reliant, they can be intimidating to some and inspiring to others. What sets Sigma men apart isn't only their independence but also their ability to stay true to themselves in any situation. They're not interested in being liked, admired, or even understood. Their focus is inward. They pursue knowledge, sharpen their minds, and align their actions with values they've chosen for themselves. They don't lead by being loud or assertive, nor do they follow out of fear or a need for approval. Instead, they stand as examples of what it means to be unshakably comfortable in one's own skin. This path isn't easy. It takes resilience to walk a different road and carve out a life that doesn't fit the usual molds. However, Sigma men find fulfillment in the freedom it brings. They understand that true confidence isn't about winning others over. It's about respecting their own journey, flaws and all. This quiet intensity, combined with their steadfast independence, often comes across as intimidating. Yet, at its core, it's simply a reflection of someone at peace with who they are. To the Sigma man, embrace the strength it takes to be your own person. The discomfort others might feel around you isn't your responsibility. It's a natural reaction to a rare quality in this world: genuine, unapologetic self-sufficiency. 10. An old soul vibe. Meeting a Sigma man can feel like talking to someone who's lived a few lifetimes. It's not that he's quoting ancient philosophers or analyzing the mysteries of the universe, though he could if he wanted to. Instead, there's a calmness and depth to him, as if he's seen enough to know what matters and what's just noise. This old soul vibe can be both fascinating and unnerving. While most people are busy jumping on the latest trends or stressing over the next big thing, the Sigma man remains unaffected. He doesn't care about keeping up with the latest hype, nor is he worried about impressing anyone. He's confident in his own values, so he doesn't need to prove anything. To him, life is more about quality than quantity, whether it's friends, possessions, or experiences. This timeless perspective makes people wonder, what does he know that they don't? Adding to the mystery is his lack of need for validation. He doesn't play the game of social approval or fads, which can be intimidating. Being around him might make people feel like they're staring at their own insecurities, or at someone who has simply figured out how to walk his own path unaffected by the usual pressures. It's both humbling and refreshing, and that's what makes him hard to ignore. 9. Non-reactive demeanor. Imagine a man who doesn't flinch when he's praised, criticized, or even baited with gossip. That's a Sigma man. His reaction, probably a calm nod, maybe a raised eyebrow, but usually nothing more. It's as if he's built a firewall against emotional manipulation. This non-reactive demeanor can be hilariously unnerving to people who thrive on drama or expect a reaction. For them, a Sigma man's uncheckable calm is a mystery. He's a bit like a human Zen garden with zero tolerance for nonsense. A Sigma man's resistance to reacting isn't about apathy. He's not ignoring you, he just doesn't feel the need to play along with social cues that don't serve him. While most people get tangled up in praise or criticism, he simply doesn't get invested. Compliment him, he won't take it to heart. Insult him, it won't land. Gossip about him, he won't bat an eye. He's focused on his own path, and if your opinion doesn't add to it, he probably isn't interested. This steady composure makes him almost impossible to manipulate. Try sparking a confrontation or stirring up social drama, and he'll likely let it fizzle out without giving you the reaction you're looking for. When everyone's used to pressing buttons to get a reaction, meeting a Sigma man is like trying to turn on a TV with the wrong remote. That mystery, it's what makes him so intriguing and so intimidating. 8. High threshold for tolerating awkwardness. Picture this. You're sitting across from a Sigma man, and there's a sudden, long silence. For most people, that's the cue to nervously ramble about the weather, weekend plans, anything to fill the void. But not for the Sigma. He's completely unbothered, sitting there cool as a cucumber, as if he's silently saying, "Take your time. I can do this all day." He has an uncanny ability to sit unfazed, letting awkwardness linger. This comfort with discomfort sets Sigma men apart. They won't scramble to ease a tense moment or break an awkward silence. While most people feel under a spotlight in those situations, Sigma men just sit back, watching and waiting, perfectly calm. For everyone else, it's a bit unnerving. There's a feeling of vulnerability when you're the only one squirming in the quiet. It's as if the Sigma man's silence holds up a mirror to your own discomfort, making you feel exposed. This comfort with awkwardness gives Sigma men an unexpected advantage in social settings. They never rush to fill gaps or cater to others' unease, often leaving them in control of the conversation without lifting a finger. Others might end up saying things they didn't mean just to break the silence, while the Sigma man watches, listens, and maybe even smirks, completely at ease. That calm confidence, it's exactly what makes him so intimidating. Number 6. Mastery of the unknown. Sigma men are like locked boxes you stumble upon in the attic, mysterious, intriguing, and difficult to decipher. They have a don't ask, won't tell vibe, revealing only what they choose to, which often leads people to raise more questions than they get answers. Sigma men don't spell things out, which can be unsettling for those who like to know exactly where they stand. This unpredictability is both fascinating and intimidating because it leaves people guessing. They don't seek validation, which means they're perfectly fine letting others wonder about their intentions. For some, being around a Sigma is like navigating a maze, enticing but nerve-wracking. And that's exactly how Sigma men prefer it. Number 5. Empathy with boundaries. Sigma men are often empathetic and understanding, but they have clear boundaries. They'll offer thoughtful advice and support, but they won't get entangled in emotional dramas. While they listen deeply and offer genuine empathy, they keep a healthy distance to avoid being drained. This balance of empathy and detachment can make people feel vulnerable, as they're used to emotional responses that Sigma men don't typically provide. Their ability to offer empathy without attachment leaves others both appreciative and slightly intimidated. Number 4. A unique blend of rebellion and tradition. Sigma men are paradoxical in that they'll question societal norms and challenge expectations, but they may also hold certain traditional beliefs close. This mixture of rebellion and adherence to core values is hard for people to categorize. One moment, a Sigma man may be advocating for change. The next, he may be standing firm on timeless principles. This unpredictability can be intimidating because people struggle to pin down his worldview. Sigma men live by their own code, and they don't need others to understand or agree with it. Number 3. The lone wolf perspective. Sigma men approach life as if it's a personal journey rather than a group endeavor. They don't follow trends or seek validation in social settings, and they're content to walk their own path without applause or recognition. This independence can make people feel as if they're invisible or irrelevant in the Sigma's world. Sigma men aren't rude, they simply don't depend on social validation. To those who thrive on being acknowledged or accepted, a Sigma man's self-contained nature can be intimidating and even a bit unnerving. Number 2. Unapologetic self-identity. Sigma men are entirely themselves without waiting for anyone's approval or validation. They live life on their own terms, without asking for permission or seeking applause. In a world where many conform to social expectations, Sigma men are a rare exception. They don't care about fitting in or following the crowd. This unapologetic authenticity often makes them stand out, leaving others unsure how to react. Sigma men's self-worth is completely independent of other people's opinions, which can be both admirable and intimidating in a society obsessed with external validation. Number 1. Loyal only to the worthy. Sigma men value loyalty, but they're very selective about who they give it to. They don't care about status, titles, or superficial markers of success. Instead, loyalty is something earned through trust, integrity, and authenticity. They don't waste time on people who haven't proven their worth. This honesty and loyalty can be intimidating because you can't buy or charm your way into a Sigma man's circle. You must earn it. This selectiveness means they're reliable allies to those they trust, but also distant and unapproachable to those who haven't proven themselves. Bonus: they inspire self-reflection in others. Sigma men, simply by being themselves, often make others question their own choices. They are like a mirror, reflecting back everything that others may be avoiding in their own lives. Their independence and self-reliance highlight any insecurities or doubts others might have. For some, This presence is humbling and inspiring. For others, it's uncomfortable, as it forces them to confront aspects of themselves they'd rather avoid. This ability to provoke self-reflection, without saying a word, makes Sigma men all the more memorable and a little intimidating. If you found these insights helpful, feel free to leave a comment. If you're unsure about what to say, simply write 100% to let us know you watched until the end. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we invite you to subscribe now and become part of our channel. Thank you for your attention. Until next time.